dang, I get in so much trouble when I think about what others should do. No, I don't get in trouble that way. The finger comes pointing back to me. When I was living with a unspeakably loving family in this world, my Philadelphia clan, about 11, 12 years ago, I came down here to D.C. for a Save Darfur rally, and all the way back with my beloved little redheaded sister, I was ranting about what we should do. We must do something. We must do enough. Next morning, I woke up realizing that I had to come to D.C. and devote my life to trying to be in the way. And I've been doing this kind of work ever since. Half an hour ago, a reply from a nice fellow, Ohio, I think. Met him years ago. He may be a minister, an assistant minister. I was scrolling through Facebook comments of people or postings of people and came across one from him. It was about the gospel, and I don't know, I think along the lines of, if you don't believe the whole gospel, you don't believe any of it. And I commented honestly to those words that if you take the gospel as literal, then it's because one likes the pleasurable feeling of being in a cult rather than having a responsible, living faith in the Spirit of Christ, the Spirit of love within us. To which I think he took offense based on a comment back this morning. That I knew he did not subscribe to the religion of comfort and prosperity, to which I commented back, from what I know of this nice man, works for a telecom company, lives in a middle-class neighborhood based on what I can see in the background in some videos that he's posted. I said, by all objective measures, you do subscribe to the life of comfort and prosperity. 4 billion of our brothers and sisters exist on $4 a day or less. And I said, honestly, I'm not condemning you, I'm not absolving you, I'm simply citing the objective truth. And unless you've moved you and your biological dependents into a concrete one-room shack or on the street, you do subscribe to the religion of prosperity objectively. Well, my point in all that is, it renews my wondering about whether I can and should accept any resources, let alone the thousands, maybe tens of thousands of dollars that would be involved in chemo and or surgery, and it would be a combination, I think. What are we looking at? I don't know, maybe $20,000, $30,000? Well, on the one hand, I am an ungodly expensive tool that shamefully have absorbed hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of experience and training, several advanced degrees, and personal training measured in the decades to prepare and equip myself for the work that I'm doing now, including more learning I do every day. That's a hugely valuable, rare asset for which I deserve no credit, for which I have responsibility to protect. However, where do you draw the line? 4 billion brothers and sisters, $4 a day or less. 4 times 365 is what, roughly $1,400 a year? Let's say $1,400 a year. Let's say that chemo and surgery would be $14,000. So I accept 10 years of resource so that I can have another 2 or 3 years here to fight. I'd be a good fighter for 2 or 3 years, but am I not feeding the very disease that is causing all this? Our sense of personal entitlement, even in the best sense. I don't know. I've obviously, anyone that's followed me knows that I've considered this much in the last year prior to getting the first surgery. But my talking to this friend Chris this morning has me wonderfully revisiting this. I expect to learn my options if I can. I expect to request and probably secure a consult with the cancer doctor at Georgetown, the surgeon, within a couple of weeks. There's no question that the only reason I would want that surgery, that I have considered it, that I yearn for it, is so that I can have more time serving. But by what right? It's like curing one kind of cancer, possibly, by redoubling the feeding of another kind of cancer. Gandhi said, it was Gandhi's understanding that the golden rule is to steadfastly refuse to have what millions cannot have. Was he wrong? He might have been. But he may have been correct.